Matt, first of all, your thoughts on the match today?
It's important we put it into context in terms of the way we set up the team and the way we wanted to play. We went after them, and look, we paid a price for that. They were a seriously slick team in that first period. But if we didn't go after them, then we wouldn't have got any work in our legs. The players were never going to play 90 minutes, so we wanted the players to be on the pitch for a shorter period of time, but play at a higher intensity. Unfortunately, it's cost us in terms of the actual goals and the result of the game, but I was pleased with the way the players went about that. My only gripe is, certainly in the first half, is that when you spend so long chasing the ball, that you've got to retain it when you win it back. And we were a little bit predictable at times, and I didn't quite trust each other in certain areas of the pitch. And we started to do that in the second half, and then it was more of an even game possession-wise, and it meant that when you've got part of the ball, you can look after it, and you're not chasing it as much, and you're certainly not chasing some of those players. So difficult afternoon, but I'm really pleased in terms of what the actual work and the context of the work the lads got out of it.
It seemed as though after that initial 20-minute period it began to grow into a bit more and just couldn't perhaps create that clear-cut chance. Nicky Joyce had a couple of shots.
Look, it's where we were on the pitch. More often than not, the 10 or 11 players were closer to our goal than they were the opposition goal. And like I say, we didn't ever build well enough until probably the last 10 minutes of the first half, where we started to get a foothold in the game through our possession. And look, we had glimpses of their goals, of their goal, but nothing really enough. But it was a good test in terms of a slightly different opposition. I'm not sure we've come against many teams like that in League Two this season. I've just said to the group it's going to be a totally different game in 2 weeks' time, and probably a totally different game in the week when we play Taunton and Torquay as well. And that's no disrespect to those two teams. So we know what we're working towards. Like I said, I'm not sure I'd have set that team up the way I did against Swansea if it wasn't a pre-season game, because I'm not that naive. But it was important that the lads got a certain amount of work in their legs.
Much more even second period as well. How do you feel those younger players did, all the subs change?
Look, it was disjointed second half. It was always going to be in terms of the changes both teams made. They all did well. Some of them got to learn certain aspects of the game. Obviously, Jack, as well as he played at left back, he had that moment where he's pushed the lads into the board. I've got to trust the young players. There's best part of 1,500, 2,000 people here today. He's got to be able to play under pressure, and I've got to trust him under pressure in big moments. So that's something for myself and the coaches to discuss with in terms of Jack's performance. But generally, I was pleased with Jack Sparks. John Randall came on, did well, and Ben Seymour. Look, they spent most of the game chasing after the ball as opposed to in possession. Randall showed signs of his speed and his aggression when he drives at people, but we didn't see it enough today.
Great to see Matt Grimes back here today. I suppose he's a sort of benchmark these young players can look towards, isn't it?
Yeah, but he's playing in a good team, playing in a very good team, playing alongside very good players, and his game will have improved on the back of probably a couple of long spells and a bit of experience in lower leagues. It's not easy League Two football, it really isn't, and it's testament to the likes of Matt and all our academy products who move on to bigger and better things, and we hope they move on again or have successful careers. But I'm all my power and all my thoughts are with my players, and my mindset is pretty clear in terms of what I want to do. And as disappointed as I am with the result, I'm really pleased with what we actually got out of the game today.
More minutes under the belt, I suppose. It's not just about fitness, it's getting those new faces further integrated to a style of play.
Yeah, to a certain extent. Obviously, Lewis and some others were making their home debuts today, and part of the team talk before the game is they've got to get used to the environment they're playing in. Play a lot of games here, and they come thick and fast. And obviously, our first game of the season is here, so we're pleased to get a pre-season game at the park. There's been a number of seasons coming, and that's testament to the ground staff and the stadium staff to allow us to play here. We want more games at the park, we really do, and we want our supporters to come and see our new signings. The next time they will do it is obviously so lots to look forward to, but we've still got another 2 weeks of proper work in terms of the training aspect, and a couple more games.
Yeah, and like you say, there are just 2 more games. Are you generally pleased with how things are going moving forward?
Yeah, look, the group got close to, if not 90 minutes in the week, so that's why we just took them down a little bit today in terms of the minutes. They'll get as close to, if not the full 90 minutes in the next 2 games, so I'm pleased where they are. There's a few players I'm really conscious of not burning out too early, certainly in terms of loads, and then there's a couple of players who are almost in the wings. We hope to have Craig Woodman and Lee Holmes training in the next week basically, and that's 2 more good players to come into the group. There'll be a couple more loans for the younger boys going out in terms of game time, but generally pretty happy with the squad.